Welcome to Extol Live, presented by NWSB, otherwise known as New Washington State Bank and Heritage Ford. I'm Angie Fenton, double fisting this morning, that's for sure. It's that kind of morning. I'm joined up here by one and only JD Dotson, love having him in the house, as well as Paige Trinkle from the Arts Alliance of Southern Indiana. We're going to go aahead and switch cameras on that so you can see them as well. Am I the only one who's double fisting on this Friday?
I've got a microphone right now.
You... I feel like it's that kind of Friday. We had an amazing night last night. BEA, which stands for Beautiful As You Are, is a nonprofit. Tish Frederick is a parent who started this nonprofit for young girls after her daughter was bullied and was self-harming, and decided she had to do something. And so it's blossomed into this amazing, amazing charity. And so we were on the Mary Miller steamboat, except we couldn't go out into the river because if you didn't know, the Ohio River is up too high. So the captain said we could go out, not quite sure we'd be able to get back. So we were dockside for this amazing event. And so it was a little bit of a late one, but worthwhile.
Nice. So you all looked like you were having fun. I saw some dancing videos. So.
Well, we brought Olive, my 6-year-old, your goddaughter, with us, and yeah, she was burning up the dance floor.
Yes, as she should.
As she should. Yeah. But it was a beautiful night out there, and I wanted to share a couple of things. Actually, Tish was just texting me with the amount of money that was raised, and it is $19,640.
That's awesome.
It was raised last night with sponsors and things. Orange Clover, you were amazing. The food was fantastic. And they still, though, are asking people to become part of the Butterfly Society, where you can donate $25 or more on a recurring basis that will go to helping to promote. I mean, they work on both sides of the river and helping to foster self-esteem and self-empowerment. And, you know, I mean, things that we've talked about on this live stream with body image and reaching out and lifting others. But their theme, and I am going to slaughter this name, so forgive me for that, Beautifully Broken. Oh gosh, okay. Kintsugi, it's a Japanese term which means golden joinery, and it's the art of repairing broken pottery by mending the breakage with lacquer mixed with powdered gold. And so everybody got one of these, and the awesome. Premise of that is that all of us are beautifully broken. And to see these young girls just really embrace that, oh, I mean, I cried my face off.
It's something to, and you both have, and of course Olive, but when you think about it and you don't have children, you're like, oh, that's terrible, the bullying, and then, but having someone like Olive and having children, and to think about people treating your child like this, or is my child treating other people like this? And I think it's amazing that she's taken that kind of pain and done this organization, which is just kind of incredible. So.
And it's so needed. It's a saying in our house where we do not mean girl. I mean, it's a verb. We do not mean
Same
girl.
in our house.
And I mean, I don't want to stereotype speaking of women and girls. I mean, I don't know about you, Paige and JD. I know some women who are still, they're lifelong mean girls.
Yeah.
And
sure.
Nobody wins at that.
No, nobody wins.
But you have 2 teenage daughters. I mean, this is a loaded question. What's the hardest part about that, especially though when it comes to mean girls and self-esteem and how we allow others to define who we are?
Absolutely. Well, it comes from, I always teach just be a good person first and foremost. And then there's the balance of always having to have boundaries and like make people respect you. But it is a balance, and I really don't have a good answer for that because it's a daily thing that we always address and talk about. But I guess you just have to start from within and make sure they're a strong person and a nice person, and then you just go from there.
JD, what's the meanest thing your 6-year-old goddaughter has said to you?
Well, let me think. It always sticks in my head. We took her to pizza because she always wants pizza and she gets what she wants when she's with me. We took her to Pizza King, and I sit down beside her, and she's like, JD, I don't want you to sit by me. You sit over there. Johnny, you sit by me. And I'm like, Are you kidding me? Constant.
For those of you who
get out.
don't know, JD has been a lifer with Extol. We started, we just celebrated our seventh in embarking on our 8th anniversary, and JD's been a part of that. We've been friends for 2 decades, and he and his husband are the godfathers. They are her godparents and are amazing members of our family. Yeah, she does. She treats you a little.
She can cut you down.
Yes, but she loves you, and you also though have worked really hard though to help. We're surrounding her. We're that village for her. Like Mean Girls does not work.
Well, the interesting thing is I am the softie, and so she's like, oh, JD, I want this. I'm like, okay, let me go get it. Or let me do this, whatever. And John's like, you don't need that. Or I'll have stopped it. He's like the disciplinarian. And then she tells me to get away from. And for him, okay. So.
There's something I'm not quite sure about that. Well, last night she was by far the youngest at 6, but I was so glad that Tish Frederick and Bea allowed me to bring her. I emceed that. And for her to just see these girls, these teenagers sharing, and she just got so much out of that. Yeah. I'm grateful. BeaCore.org is where you can find out more information. Again, they're working on both sides of the bridge, but they're located at Green Tree Mall. They have their own space outside of the mall. Green Tree has been a big supporter of what they're doing. Awesome. Love that. Okay, quick rewind because we did not have a live last week. Any Derby bets?
Mm-mm.
Neither one of you bet.
No.
I went to events and I just enjoyed it, but I did not.
Same.
So you did go and enjoy and take part in all things Derby?
I did. Actually, my sister-in-law, she was one of the 100 breast cancer survivors that was walking on the track. So her husband got sick and she was like, can you please join me? I was like, I will drop everything. Absolutely. So those ladies got treated so amazing, and it was a wonderful experience.
It's a powerful
oh my gosh,
display of unity during Oaks.
Yeah. And those group of women, you just feel like the gratefulness just to be there still, and just to enjoy every moment, and you could just feel that being a part of it.
I love that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of Derby related, but I walked down to the Lynn Family Stadium on Saturday night to listen to Janet Jackson from outside the stadium, and one of the security guards like, hey, you want a wristband, $50? I'm like, yes, I do. So $50 on the floor, Janet Jackson, she was amazing. So.
Wow.
Still got it.
I was going to just like rub your head or something.
Seriously.
Like, you are that one
luck.
who gets that luck.
Yeah, it was great.
Well, I would love to say, so in years, decades ago, it feels like, and I'm not that old. I'm old, but I'm not that old. But I used to work Derby, and I remember on Sunday after Derby crying when I heard the birds, because I was writing that story for the Courier-Journal, and there just wasn't enough time, and I was so tired. So I did everything. So now I do the complete opposite. I am happy to say I literally stayed on my couch the entire Derby day, started watching Wave. Shout out to Wave, they did a phenomenal job. Watched their coverage the entire day, did not move from the couch other than if I had to, and happily did that. And I've got this little sneaky thing. I'm not a bettor. I just feel like that's throwing away money. But on Derby Day, it's a little different. And my husband, Jason Applegate, who's behind the camera, he's our director today, he knows that I won't tell him what I bet. I won't tell him, and I only bet this much. $2 bets here and there, and he cannot bet on my Twin Spires account. I don't say what I bet, but I love a long shot. So I put $2 to win on every long shot horse that had odds of 50 or higher, which of course means I won. Happy to do that, but which means that I covered what I had spent, and I think I made $26, but whatever, I won. Yeah,
it's amazing.
But even better than that, at the last moment, Jason said, here, let me bet. And I was like, you know the rules? Like, you can't bet on my Twin Spires account. I don't know, there's some I'm just superstitious. So he hurried up and made his Twin Spires account and asked our daughter to pick a number. And she looked through the horses. Olive picked 21.
Wow.
Rich Crown.
Yes.
So won a little bit of cash on that,
amazing.
deposited it in her bank account. And I do have to say, even though people are disappointed that Rich Crown is not going to run next, I actually am okay with that. I love that the trainer and the owners are putting the horse's well-being first and said the horse needs to rest. So I felt like a winner, and I didn't leave my couch.
Yeah, that's amazing.
That it was amazing. Well, coming up very soon, we have some special guests who are in studio with us. In addition to Paige and JD, we're also going to get moving with Breathe and Move 502. Talk all things Arts Alliance. We're gonna see. I don't know if you can kind of see. We've got some boots over here. How to bling up your boots for a special cause, and then we have a legend in the house. But we'll talk to him coming up in just a moment. But now for a thank you to our sponsors. That includes Heritage Ford and NWSB, otherwise known as New Washington State Bank. Since our humble beginnings in 1908 as New Washington State Bank, we have offered banking the way you want it. Now known as NWSB, we have branches in the communities of Henryville, Charlestown, Borden, Jeffersonville, Sellersburg, Scottsburg, River Ridge, New Albany, and coming in 2022, a state-of-the-art branch in downtown Jeffersonville. As a local bank, all decisions are made right here in Southern Indiana. Our customers enjoy the personal relationships, and we value opportunities to show community support throughout the region. At NWSB, we offer myriad services and modern technology, from online banking to mobile apps with check capture. And we are always here to serve you face-to-face with a smile. At NWSB, you'll find banking the way you want it. Thanks for joining us for Extol Live, sponsored by NWSB and Heritage Ford. It's my pleasure to introduce to you, you know them already, Becky and Terry Middleton. We're here to do a few things. One, to celebrate the legend that you are, and I mean, you're a power couple in the Southern Indiana community, but let's talk first about this. Terry, 50 years of Terry Middletons.
It's unheard of.
I'm not from this area, and I'm always interested to hear from people who've seen, I mean, just the development over the last 5 years, 10 years, let alone 50 years. Why did you even open your gym first, 50 years ago?
Oh, well, I started in boxing in 1963. In 1968, I joined the first martial arts school that was in Southern Indiana, and taught for those people for a couple years, and then opened my own place in 72, which is the natural succession.
Terry, what was it about boxing as opposed to other sports? Why did that really grab you?
As the first memories I have is my dad boxing, hitting the bags, speed bags, heavy bags, what have you, lifting weights, because he'd boxed in the Navy. And so after he got out of the Navy, after World War II, he used the boxing as an exercise routine, stay in shape. And so I guess it's natural for me to do the same thing.
Now, Becky, you all were married 8 years ago. Do you box?
I do not box, but one of these days when I retire, I hope to be able to do
You're
that.
busy.
Yeah. But even though we've only been married 8 years, I met Terry in the early 80s. And, you know, I'm not from Southern Indiana, so I had no idea quite the legend that he was or is until I moved here. So as a matter of fact, when I first met him and I asked him what he did, and he was like, you know, I do kickboxing and boxing martial arts. And I'm like, oh, that's cool, but what else do you do?
I love that.
But what's your real job?
I do kickboxing and boxing, you know.
Yes.
The way to downplay that.
Well, she thought it was a hobby.
Yeah, I did. I mean, that's a natural, but then it turned into this 50-year career.
50-year career, and I mean, people from all over know you.
Well, we've been around a long time, and if you're around a long time, people are going to know you.
You've actually written books. You've done more than just open a gym, Terry.
Oh yeah, it's quite extensive. I've written a book. It's Heavyweight Boxing Champions, and it's boxing from the beginning. It goes all the way back to 5,000 years ago, the Sumerians boxing in Iraq, actually. And it has the bare-knuckled fighters, it has the glove champions, it has the local trainers, it has a boxing quiz in there. I even had a piece of artwork put in there that covers the 4 champions from Louisville, Marvin Hart, Ali, Jimmy Ellis, and Greg Page. Louisville is the first and only other city in the country, in the world actually, that has 4 heavyweight boxing champions.
What do you attribute that to? I mean, is that just sheer luck?
I think that's just the way it happened. Jimmy Ellis saw Ali on, or Cassius Clay at the time, on TV, and Tomorrow's Champions back in the 50s, and he said, well, I can do that. And there had been Marvin Hart was a champion in 1905, and then Greg Page came along. And so that's what made the 4 champions from Louisville.
You have that picture, and I'm going to go ahead and hold this up, though. You have that picture with Ali that's on there. What can you tell us about him?
Well, I lived in Louisville when I was a kid, and I didn't live too far from him when we were kids. He came to town many times after he became a champion, and I saw him then, and we had some conversations and stuff, and actually he's the greatest, and so everybody wants to be close to the champion.
Becky, when you first met Terry and you spent some time with him, when did you know?
Well, it was in the early 80s. I was too young, and we have an age difference that was significant back then. But then, life did its thing, and he actually friended me on Facebook. And I didn't think anything of it. And anyway, here we are today. And actually, I think that first night that we actually met after all these years, we kind of both knew it was meant to be.
And did the friending on Facebook? I love it.
Yeah. Yes.
Hooray for Facebook.
Hooray for Facebook. It's good
I mean,
for something.
I never would have. I kept up with him over the years, but I never would have run into him had he not friended me on Facebook. And that was, it wasn't that he was looking for me. He was building his social media platform at the time. He was kind of slow to get into that. And so, anyway. That's how it.
Terry just said, yeah, that's basically what it was. Yeah. We get it. Terry, what have been the best changes that you have seen with the city of New Albany?
Oh, with the current administration that is very progressive, has changed this place completely. The downtown is vibrant, and it's beautiful, wonderful, as well as the rest of the city. We're growing in many ways, and I don't see any end to it.
No, that's for sure.
It's a beautiful city.
Let's talk about the other books that you have here as well.
We have another book that's called 21 Martial Arts, and it's the 21 most common martial arts you would run into if you went out looking for a martial arts school in the country. And this tells about the people who started it, why they started it, the difference in the styles, why this one is different from the other one.
What's your favorite?
Actually, I love them all.
You do?
I mean, I can't pick one, actually, but they're all good. Different people like to do different things. Some like the judo, the grappling, some like stand-up boxing, some like taekwondo, the kicking, the Japanese style, the harder style, kung fu, soft style. So it depends on what a person likes, but I like them all. And they all have advantages and maybe some disadvantages, I think, but they're all good.
Absolutely. Terry, let's go ahead and hold up your shirts here. What are the plans for your 50th? How are you going to celebrate? Because that's a mega milestone for any business.
Right. Well, we're putting together a format, and there are going to be different things we're going to do, and try to just get the word out there that, the martial arts is a good thing. Yes. It's not about me. It's not about me doing it 50 years. It's about the people that can come and get the benefits, which would be self-defense, physical fitness, and the mind building. So these shirts commemorate the 50 years.
Absolutely love those.
And I want to add, Terry's being recognized by the Martial Arts Hall of Fame at the end of June for his 50th year. And he's, his status is 10th degree black belt. I'm bragging on you, honey. So there's not very many of those.
For those of us who are uneducated about the martial arts, when you say 10th degree, try to equate that to something that would make sense. Because that's mind-boggling to me.
Well, they're basically, different styles have different number of belts. We have 8 color belts. It'll take you a couple years to get the first degree black. And then it's about 2 or 3 years for each belt. Some styles can be even longer. Kung Fu is a style that has 2 belts, basically white, and you stay there forever and ever and ever before you get a black belt. But to get to 10th, it took me 50 years, from 1963 to 2013. So it does take a long time and a lot of practice and work and effort, in addition to training others. So there are a lot of facets to it.
How often do you train now? What's your workout regimen? Because you two are very active.
Well, I teach 5 days a week, and of course, I'm in the school other days as well. I mean, when it's your business,
Yes.
you're like there all the time. But just if you do a hard personal workout, that's one thing. You can do a light one, and if you're just training the students, that's a workout in itself. So, I mean, I do this
They love
pretty
sparring.
much
They love sparring with Terry. You know, everybody wants to get that punch in.
pretty much every day.
What's the age range?
We do not take them until they're 6. They're
Yes.
not mentally ready until they're 6. There are other places who will, but I will not do that. And then, of course, you can stay and get into it and stay in it forever. It's good exercise.
I have a 6-year-old who's been waiting to turn 6. She's finishing up soccer, and then she's coming your way.
Okay.
She's
We
ready.
welcome her. She'll love it.
Speaking of my 6-year-old, I have to also just say this. So we have the good fortune, we live in New Albany, and I love where we live. We live at the end of a cul-de-sac, up a hill. And if you walk through our backyard, which is kind of on an incline, every once in a while, you'll find Terry Middleton there, because he is the best. They are the best neighbors. And maybe that makes us not the best neighbors, but he has made our backyard into like a park-like setting. And I cannot tell you how much joy and how grateful we are. We have, like you, owning a business and having a child and all of the different things. When somebody helps you out, it means a lot.
We're glad to have you as neighbors.
And that includes our 4 yahoos. Well, actually 2 of our 4 dogs are yahoos. You hear them from time to time, and part of that is because you're animal lovers.
Yes, we are.
Greatly.
Yes, we
You
are.
have shirts, and we don't have them up here right now, but you have shirts that
Yes, and
you've
these
sold.
books, the proceeds. You want to talk about that?
Yes.
We have the shirts, New Albany shirt that I brought. That
I'm going to let you keep talking,
that
Terry. I'm going to grab it.
I designed them and we sell them, and they are beautiful shirts, and all the profit and proceeds go to the animal shelter, our local shelter. And all of our books that we sell, the proceeds go to the animal shelter.
We had to stop adopting animals. We had too many, so we decided to do fundraising.
Becky, I don't even know what that means.
No, you don't.
Jason will tell you that. Although I was very proud of myself, one of our other neighbors has kids, adult kids who are moving out of country, and they have 2 Dotson mixes that need rehoming, and Jessica asked if we could take the dogs, and I am a sucker for Dotson mixes, and I said no. No, we know when enough is enough. 4 dogs, 4 cats, a betta fish, and then we have Ginger, the cat from the New Albany Animal Shelter, who
Right.
is around here. And these are fantastic shirts that people can purchase.
They're nice. I designed them, and I buy
Love these.
them, and I sell them at Harvest Homecoming and other places too, and all the profit goes to the animal shelter. Yeah.
Terry, for people, I mean, we all know this, it's been a tough time for businesses. It's been just a tough time in general for people. What advice would you offer, though, for those who are just not ready to throw in the towel? They want to stay in business. They want to thrive, but there's a lot that are against businesses right now.
Well, if you have a good product and a good service and the hard work,
Yes.
and just keep your eye on the ball, don't stop. But the service and the product and the hard work. The hard work, you just have
Hard
to stay
work.
after. There were times where I didn't make much money. And in fact, there were some months back in the day, years ago, that I didn't make any money through the school. But if you just stay at it, that's the key.
Becky, give us just a little glimpse into who Terry is outside of Terry Middleton's gym. What don't we get to see?
He's just the most stand-up, fair, guy that I've ever met. I mean, I'm a type A person, and he keeps me in check. You know, if I'm worrying or stressing, and you know, he's a really good yin to my yang. Is that what the right term is?
Anchor.
Yeah, very, very good anchor. And you know, he's just always on the same kind of. I think the martial arts fits him. That whole tone of martial arts is just very steady. And I think I know he's respected by anybody or everybody who has ever met him. So he's a pretty good guy.
To say the least, that's
I'll
for
second
sure.
that.
Absolutely. Terry, if people want to connect with you, I mean, obviously you are an expert at Facebook, because I mean,
Yeah.
well, what's the best way to do that?
Well, we try to put something on there every day that's progressive and informative and educational, and we like to promote the students. We like to put them on there and let them feel like they've made accomplishments. There are some things that are just informative. The boxers I put on there on their birthdays, the gloved boxers, and anything else that we think that people would be interested in, rather than a lot of stuff that maybe they're not interested in. If you'll look at Facebook, a lot of stuff in there you're like, don't care about that.
Yeah. And when you walk around with a 10th degree black belt, you know you're protected. So it's always nice to have my bodyguard with me.
Like I said, he's my neighbor, so keep that in mind. Well, we appreciate you both.
Okay, thank you.
And look
Thank you for
forward
having
to the continued celebration.
Thank you. We appreciate
He's
it.
earned
Thanks
it.
for having us on.
That's for sure. We also appreciate our sponsors as well, and that includes NWSB, otherwise known as New Washington State Bank, and the one and only Heritage Ford.
My name is Bert Hodge. I'm the general manager of Heritage Ford. When I was a child, I stuttered and was dyslexic. I started my career assigned to a junior position on a destroyer, and ultimately I commanded 5 ships, 2 minesweepers, 2 frigates, a SEAL commando ship. I got a lot of exposure to some of the world's greatest leaders. When I retired from the Navy, it was with the intent to join my father here at the dealership. My dad has been an important part of this community for 30 years.
The business has changed tremendously since then, but our moral values have remained the same.
This is a business where honor and integrity matter.
If I'm fair to my customers, they'll come back. If I'm fair to myself, I'll be here when they come back.
I'm proud to have served my country, and I'm proud to sell Fords to my community.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us for Extol Live. We just had Becky and Terry Middleton on again. It's Terry Middleton's gym 50th anniversary. Right now we have JD Dotson from Breathe and Move 502. Didn't you just have Paige Trinkle from the Arts Alliance?
Yeah, I was going to grab her up here and make her
Yes.
do some stuff with me.
Bring her up.
I mean,
Bring her
she's
up.
dressed appropriately for working out.
So, like I usually am, although
Right.
I have pants on today. Real quick, JD is an Extol staffer, has been part of the team for a long time. You and your sister own Regalo, one of the best gift shops in Southern Indiana, and you and Sarah Charmoli just partnered on Breathe and Move 502, and explain
Right.
real quick what that is.
We do physical training there, small groups, individuals, larger groups. Sarah does this amazing breath practice. And then we have a yoga teacher, we do a meditation, and last night was the first time we did ecstatic dance. So,
Okay, Ecstatic Dance. Paige, have you ever heard of that?
I have not.
Yeah.
I'm
I mean, I think
interested.
that's what I do in the shower every morning.
right? Sarah could probably explain it better, but it's basically a bunch of people were in a big room. The music kind of builds and swells, and you just
Just let
dance,
it out.
express
Just,
yourself, and dance for. They were in there. It seems like for about an hour and a half.
Paige, are you a dancer?
No, I'm not coordinated at all, actually.
You do not have to be coordinated to
No,
dance.
it was
I mean,
just a movement,
I love-
a meditation and moving. You know.
I don't think we have the capability of playing any music, do we? Oh, Maestro
I'm not
says
doing it.
yes.
I'm not dancing.
Maestro
Jason.
says
Jason
yes.
Applegate. Dancing.
I
is
am
not
I mean, it may not be good, but I
step
will
out that
catch
way.
myself. I will catch myself just dancing, and then I'll be like, "You are in Kroger."
So I have
You are in Kroger.
I've been caught run dancing before. You know,
Okay,
like I'm in a
that's
running group and a
amazing.
song's on and you're just moving. And there you
That's
go. That happens.
amazing.
So,
All I'm hearing is static.
oh good, I can't hear a thing.
I can't hear anything right
Sorry,
now.
I'll dance for you
All
next
right,
time.
well, while our maestro is trying to figure out whether or not he can play some music for us that we're going to actually be able to hear, although I have a beat going on in my head all the time.
All the time.
What, TMI. So show us what you're here to do today.
So I brought with me my trusty band.
Yep.
We've talked about, I know you have shoulder issues right now. I have shoulder issues. And when I first was starting this whole workout journey, I couldn't lift a lot of heavy weights. So the band became my friend. So I've learned a lot of things with the band, an entire body workout with just the rubber band. So I was just going to show you a few things you can do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Should I grab Paige's mic?
Maybe. Paige, you want to do this?
I can
So
do it.
I'm going to
We
show
just volunteered her. We
Paige.
did.
I'm going to show Paige really quick. It's just standing on the band right
Okay,
here.
I'm going to step out of the way.
And we're going to do it. It's a three-way. This is fairly easy, just right there. And I want you to just kind of keep your, if you let it go down here, there's no tension. So stop right there where you have a little tension and just straight up. And it's a single arm, a double arm, and I'm going to show you how to make it really hard. Okay?
Okay.
So that's that. And you can do that, I mean, whatever your workout outfit of choice is. So just kind of keep the tension there and just straight up. And then stop before you get completely loose, right?
Sorry.
So that's you're feeling a little tension in there, right? Yeah. Now I'm going to show you how to make this a little bit harder. So I want you to step on it like this. 2 of them right down there like that. Hold that and that. Step on both of them. Now stand straight up. Get the tension in there. Now do a curl. It's a little harder. You can work yourself up to that, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. So it's a way to make it a little harder. Oh, she brought her
This
own
is
band.
my
Look at
well. This is my band from Paul at Court. This is my PT band, and I've shared this before. I have a 50% tear in my rotator. Baptist Health has something called a PRP injection. They take your blood and platelets. It's a platelet-rich plasma injection injected in, and then the hope is that it helps to start healing the shoulder, and we'll see, but you do physical therapy. So
Right.
I use this puppy a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is great. It's like if you're doing a like a pull out and your hands are out here and you're right there's not a lot of tension, right? But then you bring your hands in and it's a little more difficult, right?
I mean,
it's a great, try that one. That one's pretty
And you
good.
can carry these. I mean, I'd actually put this one and put it in my purse.
Yeah.
I hang it here, and there's so much
And
that you can do.
Well, and when I travel, I take my bands with me because there's not always a guarantee you're going to be near a gym, and sometimes you're working out in your hotel room before you're going to your
Absolutely.
meetings or whatever. So
So-
it's pretty great. Paige
Now
is
we
so
got
good.
Paige doing the work here. What's another exercise you can show us?
So one that I really love, and it seems very simple, but it's really effective. I'm going to step on my band here like this,
Okay.
and I'm going to crisscross this here, right? Mm-hmm. It's a tiny little step, so I'm just basically taking little steps to the side, right? You see that? Do you see how big my steps are? They're very little. If I want to make it harder, you pull up a little bit. So
And so where's the resistance coming here? Is it in the...
so you're going to feel it all up and
okay,
down
so
here.
it's in here.
And booty. Thank you.
Okay.
So a little bitty. And then, you can up and back, but I want Paige to try this in her cute shoes because it's, you'll feel it. And it's like, gosh, it's such a simple step, such a tiny movement. Do me a favor here.
Oh,
There we go.
crisscross.
Kind of get a
Paige.
little,
Yeah, I can feel
little
that.
bend in
Can
your
you
knees.
feel that?
Get a little bend in your knees. There you go. And then pull out on those things. Now, teeny tiny steps across.
I know, we're all kind of going off.
Paige has the best shoes for working
I was
out.
going to say, those are pretty
It's
amazing.
so great. It's so great.
And so the outer thighs,
You're gonna feel it
And the
all
cake.
down in there and in your booty. And
with
did you
the
say
cake.
and the cake?
Yeah, shake your cake. I learned that today.
And
I don't
the
know.
cake. So the band is great. It's great for, you could do everything. I'm not gonna make you do this because you're wearing a dress, but this would probably not be the best thing. But you can do a squat and a thruster. Oh look, wearing a half
How
shirt.
does
I better
that
not do
feel on your shoulder?
It feels great right now because there's not a lot of tension in there right now. So,
JD, you also have some, I think, really interesting classes and things that are open. You've got your Monday night.
Monday night is it's a body weight class. So
Okay.
it's a high intensity interval training, and it's only body weight. So we don't use any bands.
And it's drop-in. Anybody can join.
Anybody can come in. It's $10. And we did it outside. Monday was so nice. We did it outside. Sometimes we have a gym there. If it's a smaller group, we do it in our space. That's Monday night. Wednesday at 6, we do Run Club. It's completely free, which is just an excuse for me to, every week I'm at least doing this run. So I'm trying to narrow down my times on my 1.25 miles. And then
Ecstatic Dance.
Ecstatic Dancing. We think it's probably going to be Thursday nights. It's subject to change. We're still kind of in the practice stages of it, but it's a lot of fun.
JD and I actually talked about that this morning because, Paige, you've met the 6-year-old, and we think she would have a ball.
Yeah.
I mean, I would pay you. I would
Dance
pay
it
you
out, dance it
extra
out.
to
Oh.
dance her to
Yeah.
sleep.
I mean, I feel like she could probably outdance all of us.
She will.
You know?
She will
Yeah.
outdance everybody.
So she's, it's a lot of fun. And we have, we're trying different things. We have an Artist's Way workshop starting next week. It's all on our website. Yoga, we've got meditation. We had a new moon meditation last night, which was it's very
love it.
calming. And then you turn around and you ecstatically dance. So
Love
yeah,
it. And Sarah
so
Charmoli is one of my favorite people, one of your
She's
certainly
one of my
favorite
favorites
people,
as well, so.
and we love her.
Yeah.
Speaking of favorites, we also love Ready, Set, Prepped, which is located in New Albany. Chef Garby is absolutely amazing. We have become, weekly customers. I get text messages reminding me that it's time to order. Just take a look.
Ready, Set, Prepped came about. It was not even something that was real. I had already left the restaurant industry that I loved because I had a daughter that was becoming school age and needed something more conducive. So I left that job to go into just a standard 9-to-5, Monday through Friday job. And I had been a member of 4-Rail CrossFit over in New Albany, and periodically they do nutritional challenges, and part of that was meal prepping. And so while other people were just doing, basic baseline meal prep, I kind of wanted to tie back my culinary experience to just making it healthier and making it look pretty. So I'd post my food on my social media, and you get enough people saying, "Oh, that looks awesome. I would pay you to do that." And then you kind of think, maybe I should do this on the side, And so I started doing that, and it kind of snowballed. And by the time I got all of these orders, people wanted to keep telling their friends, and my house was just full of meals every single weekend. So I kind of had to take a step back and think, maybe I want to jump into this full time. And so I left my 9-to-5 job, and it kind of snowballed from there. My husband has a full-time job as well, so he kind of took the role of the main breadwinner so that I could go into this. So he's kind of my #1 fan and my #1 supporter. And when we first started, we wanted to just go all in. We wanted to find a place to lease out and kind of, just put all of it in there. And we quickly learned that that was not a smart thing to do. We went through so many different plans, even just to get financing for this place and just to kind of be willing to adapt and change even through COVID, like the pandemic. Luckily, our business model was set up to where we didn't have to adjust very much for our business, but we actually thrived in that because we introduced home delivery because most people weren't going out to eat, and most of our meals you pick up and go and reheat later anyway, so you're not like sitting down in a restaurant or anything like that. Most people know us for our meal prep, and most of our meals are They change every week. We have usually 8 options, so it's usually 2 breakfast options, and then 6 that can kind of interchange between lunch and dinner. And then we also do our own house-made snacks. So we do protein donuts and these energy balls and things like that, just so people can have a healthier snack. And all of our stuff is made in-house. We don't use any processed foods or anything like that. We make all of our sauces, vinaigrettes, everything from scratch, so you know exactly what goes into it, and makes it easy for us to modify things. So all of our meals, they may not always be gluten-free, but we can modify them for those people that need gluten-free meals or vegetarian meals, low-carb meals, stuff like that. I think one of the most rewarding things is being able to get to know our customers. We're very fortunate to have, we've been around almost 3 years, and we have people that have been with us since the beginning. So when we do 800 to 900 meals a week, having the same people come back week after week after week, it says something. It says that, hey, our food is good, and getting to know people. We've got, customers that we've seen their children grow up, and, we've seen them switch jobs, and just, people aren't just an order number to us.
Oh my gosh, Peggy's menu for this week. If you haven't ordered already, you missed it. You have to do it by noon on Thursdays, and her food is amazing. It's just absolutely amazing. So we love Ready, Set, Prepped, but we also love Bling. Bling is the middle name. JD Bling Dotson is joining me up here.
It's my nickname in high school.
With Ellen Kelly. I do not doubt that. I do not doubt that at all. And Shelley Daywig from LifeSpring Health Systems. Shelley, before we start blinging anything, explain what is LifeSpring and why this is such an important organization.
Absolutely. So LifeSpring Health Systems is a community health organization, and we serve 13,000 people across 11 counties in southern Indiana. So really the goal of LifeSpring is to be a one-stop shop for any healthcare need that an individual may have, no matter their insurance level, no matter their income, no matter their situation. So primary care, behavioral health, homeless prevention, substance use treatment, benefits coordination, really any healthcare need, like I mentioned, or any barrier that a person may have to getting healthcare access, we also try to help with.
And that's why Boots and Bling Gala, your fundraiser, is not only going to be a great time, but it's also really important.
Absolutely. So we have been planning this for 2 years, and I'm so happy it's coming to fruition.
Oh my goodness. For a moment, sometimes I just kind of like blank out, when it comes to like, oh yeah, COVID erased a lot of things or put a lot of things on hold. We've got that poster that's up there, live music, line dancing, wine and bourbon pull, dream vacation raffle, bling bling raffle.
Yes.
And more.
And more. You just got to come out and check out all the fun things.
Well, you brought Ellen along with you. She's the Vice President of Training, Assistant Vice President of Training and Special Projects for LifeSpring. But in addition to that, I heard she's a master blinger.
She is. We are so happy that she's here to show off her other major talent, in addition to being an amazing LifeSpring staff member.
Okay, Ellen, you've got, he's a blinging MVP who's alongside you. You can put him to work in any way.
Put me to work.
Okay.
What
All
do we
right.
do?
Well, I found these boots on Facebook Marketplace. Your boots came from the Goodwill. So we are starting off very inexpensively. And the first question is, can you paint leather?
Can I paint leather?
Isn't that an amazing question? And these days, they have paints out that can paint leather. And I wanted to show you all my purse that I just got bored with. And so I painted it red 2 years ago. See how good it still looks? So yes, you can paint leather.
And I love it even looks like it's kind of worn like, yeah, that's
Yep.
cool.
Okay, so the
JD
key
is home.
Mental notes.
So the key is using the new paints that are being developed all the time. They're mineral paints. And so this one comes from a little boutique store in Taylorsville, Kentucky, where they make the paint themselves. And they're doing this all over the country. It's really cool. People are making paint in their kitchen that you can use to paint leather. You can paint furniture without priming. It comes with its own top coat. It's amazing
Ellen,
stuff.
name drop that boutique for us.
It is,
I don't have my glasses on, or I'd help
Yeah.
you.
We'll check it out.
okay,
Yeah, we'll,
sorry.
no. We'll
Can't see it.
post that because we've got to find that out.
Okay. Also, we can use some Waverly paint, and this
Okay.
one comes from Walmart. So Walmart or Joann's or Michael's, you can get this paint too. You don't have to go with that. So pick out some paint here, and I've got a brush for you.
Thank you.
Now I've chosen boots that have kind of a design on them, so I don't have to be an artist. I can just paint within the lines here. So you can do that too.
I'm not good at painting in the lines, so.
Or paint
happy to hold
outside
your
the
microphone.
lines,
Thank you.
okay? So it's important to start off with clean leather, okay?
What's the
And,
best way to clean leather?
Well, I use Cud Credder because that will take off all the crud. And it really gets it clean. You don't want any grease or any, things that when people touch leather, it gets oils in it. So I start off with Cred Cutter and just clean it up with a paper towel and then a little bit of water to get it
Nice.
cleaned. So you can paint in the existing designs here, and one coat might do it. These paints are pretty amazing stuff. Look at the coverage on that. That's pretty dang good. Yeah. Okay. So we would let that dry. Okay. And then comes the really fun part.
Are you gonna make me stop painting?
No, you can keep painting. Okay. But I went to the Dollar Tree and I got all this bling, and these are $1 a sheet. All right. And all you have to do is peel it off and stick it on the boot. Now, this will last for the night of boots and bling, unless you're doing too much crazy dancing, okay? But if I wanted this to, be able to use these boots day in and day out, I would probably get a little E6000 and glue it on there, or even some hot glue to make it stick a little bit better. But so I can look at the design here, and I can take these little plastic jewels and add to that. Okay, wow, you're painting.
Use bling, I'm gonna paint.
Okay, I'm gonna take this and add that right there.
So
Oh,
sharp.
look how good that looks. Yeah.
Love it.
Make a good
We do. Okay, I also have a stencil here. This stencil came from the Dollar Tree, although you can get stencils of all price points, Michael's and all the craft stores. And so I would spray a little spray mount onto the stencil, okay? And then I would gently hold it on the boot, okay? And then take a paintbrush that has just a little bit of paint on it, not a lot of paint. So maybe make sure it doesn't have too much. And then you would just touch there where the stencil opens.
You make this look very, very
And the next
easy,
thing
Ellen.
is you have a snowflake on the
I
side
love
of your
it.
boot. Okay? All right, so I've got all kinds of choices here. We could take this little round thing.
Listen, I love painting, but I was told I could bling things.
Oh, bling along, bling away, okay. So pick some bling
Very
here.
aptly named.
I love it. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Can I bling? And I can. Oh, I think I could just do this. Look at this. Okay. I'm
Now
blinging.
tell me this, Shelley, is there any kind of contest? Like for the best blinged boots? Is blinged even a word? I don't even know if that's a word.
Because
Ellen is winning.
I know. Everyone can have their own personal contest for
Right.
sure. That might be something we add next year.
I love this.
We just want everyone to come out, have lots of blinged up boots, and have the bolo ties and cowboy hats. And
I feel like if you have a blingy boot, then you've won.
absolutely,
You won a
You've
contest.
won,
Yes.
you've won, you have definitely won. We neglected to mention it's also at Joe Huber's.
Yes, at bar number 1 at the restaurant.
And you still have tickets
Single-handed.
available. I actually
Yes.
checked this morning, And it is next Thursday, the 19th, so coming very soon. But again, it's for an incredible cause.
Yes, so all proceeds support the LifeSpring Foundation of Indiana, which exists to support programs at LifeSpring Health Systems and other nonprofit organizations.
Absolutely. Now, Ellen, I need to know, have you always been crafty?
Yes, got it from my grandmother, born with it, always changing things in my house. My poor husband just never knows what he's going to come home to. So yeah, always love the craft and the arts, and
We're the same.
constantly doing things.
What's your word of advice for non-crafty people like me?
Well, today's materials make it so easy. I mean, you can see, you just kind of painted in the existing design here. You get these things from the Dollar Tree that automatically stick on.
Let's go ahead and get a close-up of that, Colin.
Anybody can do this.
Sorry, I'm one.
Go ahead,
That's
let's
okay.
check out JD's boot here. Let's go in close on that, so we can see what he's done thus far.
Do we know what size this boot is?
I know, because he made
taking
two
it.
step out of here
It says it's a 9.
Dang it.
already.
Okay. And then to end it up, I'm going to tie a little bit of string. And that is as simple as anything. Just tie a little string around the boot.
Oh.
And then we've got a fully bling boot ready for dancing. And I understand there's gonna be dancing,
There
right?
is. It's almost a requirement that you must dance. We're gonna have lots of line dancing lessons, a line dancing performance, and lots of dancing on the floor.
I feel if you've got boots like this and you're not dancing, problems.
Yes,
Yeah, I think that's right.
absolutely.
I think that's
We're
right.
so excited.
Okay, JD, we're going to let you continue blinging. If you want to buy tickets, lifespringgala.org. I mean, my method, since I am not crafty, is to have a family member.
I was just gonna say.
Just ask someone to
His
do it
family
for
member.
you.
Like, JD, please, can you do this? Can you help me? And then inevitably, he turns it into something amazing.
More bling for your buck that way.
Love it. Well, we're going to let JD continue. We'll show you the finished product coming up here in just a moment. But in a second, we're going to talk with Paige Trinkle from the Arts Alliance of Southern Indiana. Hopefully, she's recovered from working out with JD and talk about all of the amazing things that are coming, including Monarch Festival at Mount Fest.
Save the date for the Monarch Festival at Mount Fest. Join us June 4th at Mount St. Francis for another spectacular event featuring fine arts and crafts, live music, an extraordinary immersive butterfly experience, tantalizing food trucks, adult beverages, a kids zone with inflatables, booths, games, and so much more, all at one of the most picturesque places in our region. The Monarch Festival at Mount Fest is 12 to 8 p.m. June 4th at Mount St. Francis. Visit monarchmountfest.com for more details.
Thanks for joining us for Extol Live. We have just a couple of segments left. We appreciate our sponsors, NWSB, otherwise known as New Washington State Bank, and Heritage Ford as well. We love the Arts Alliance of Southern Indiana, and that includes Paige Trinkle and Paige, you all. I mean, it's not summer yet. It feels like it's summer. Mother Nature thinks it's summer, and I'm okay with that, but you have a jam-packed season already started.
Yes, we do. I feel like it did just go from winter to summer. It was crazy. But yes, we have our most important thing that's getting ready to happen is the Monarch Festival at Mount Fest, which is going to be June 4th, and it's going to be from 12 to 8. And it is going to be amazing. Last year it was absolutely amazing, but we've added even more this year. It's going to have more of a church picnic nostalgia. And so if you like pool tabs, beer gardens, and Kids Zone, you know, not have next to each other, but it's all a wonderful thing, and you should definitely check it out.
You have live music there. You have the Monarch experience. I mean, last year, and that was my first ever experience, and just blown away.
Absolutely. It was so well responded to. Over 8,000 guests came, and we just couldn't have been more happy about that.
Well, that is coming up sooner rather than later.
Mm-hmm. It is right around the corner. So,
And with all of the funds that you raise for something like that, it goes into arts programming. And I tell people all the time, Paige, I mean, the Alliance reaches throughout Southern Indiana and beyond, really.
Yes, we do. We try in every facet, whether it be music, any type of art. We definitely find a way to lift artists up so everybody can experience their talents.
What else do you have going on, including tomorrow in Corydon?
Yeah, so we have Shakespeare in the Park with the production of Julius Caesar. So that's going to start tomorrow at 6:30 at Bicentennial Park in Harrison County. And last year we had about 400 people that came out to Corydon. It was so lovely. So we are really expecting a good attendance. So please check it out. And then the week after that, we're going to be at Chapel Park in Jeffersonville. So that'll be the last performance. So we really hope everybody takes advantage of that.
If you haven't seen Kentucky Shakespeare, I mean, what a treat to have them come over to Southern Indiana. World class.
Absolutely.
World class, and just, I mean, phenomenal. So in addition to that, though, when you walked into our doors today, I said you are a walking personification of the MEG, which stands for?
The Monarch Educational Garden.
And that's out front of the Arts Alliance, which is just down the street from Extol Studios. And you all are getting ready to unveil an amazing new sculpture.
Yeah, so we call him Pablo Picasso, and it's a really beautiful metal sculpture by Jason Wright. And you have to come and check that out. And once you come, you're going to want to stay because we have that beautiful water fountain, and it's a good place to relax and just have a Zen moment.
And I mean, it's beautiful to drive by and to watch the evolution of it, but then sometimes I'll drive by and I'll see somebody who's just sitting on the bench drinking coffee, or people will enjoy lunch there. People will just come and gather, and that was the intention.
Yes, it is, and I'm just so happy to see people do that, and it's so close that, yeah, people will definitely take their lunch break to just spend a little time there, and that's what it's there for. A lot of other things as well.
What is Brian Johnson, artist Brian Johnson, you have a show coming up. I mean, there's just so much. And also your website it's a rich website in terms of what people can actually experience online. Mm-hmm. What's the best way to keep up with all that is happening with the Arts Alliance?
Well, the website is definitely a good way to go. So sointoart.com or .org, is where you need to visit. And it's constantly being updated with our very ambitious schedule. So please check that out. And if you have any inquiries, you're welcome to reach out through the website as well.
I have to ask, last question for you. What is your favorite, I mean, of all the different events and things, you have the Imagine Hour and, I mean, the Monarch Festival and Shakespeare, and I mean, there's so much going on. What's your favorite that you just take a step back page and just go, I just love this?
It's definitely the Monarch Festival at the Mount Fest. I love Mount St. Francis, and I love seeing all the community gather together in a positive way. And I'm a church picnic girl too, so it's just all together. It's wonderful for me.
Wow, we will definitely see you there. Make a date for that, and don't forget Corydon tomorrow night. Sointoart.org. You know what else we love? We love the arts in all fashion, but that includes Derby Dinner Playhouse. Recently, JD Dotson sat down with me for a quick, I think it's literally 40-second review of their most recent show. We recently sent JD Dotson to Derby Dinner Playhouse to check out Saturday Night Fever. Quick review.
Amazing. Music is amazing. The acting's amazing. Everything's great. Costumes, the jackets, so good.
Clearly you dug it. And as always, the food, the
fried
buffet.
chicken.
Oh, the fried chicken.
The fried chicken, so.
And one little hint toward what's coming at the end of May that you're really looking forward to.
Steel Magnolias.
Oh.
Drink your juice, Shelby.
Go see Saturday Night Fever now. Visit Derby Dinner Playhouse. And Clarksville, go to derbydinner.com for more details. Thanks for joining us for Extol Live today. Really appreciate everybody. JD Dotson of Breathe and Move 502. We have Ellen and Shelly is over here from LifeSpring. Don't forget LifeSpringGala.org. That's LifeSpring Boots and Bling Gala that's coming up. Of course, Terry Middleton, and we have Becky Middleton and Paige Trinkle from the Arts Alliance of Southern Indiana. Wanted to say thank you to Mickey's. Actually, I bought these today from Mickey's, including the macarons. I know I say that wrong every time. And Mickey said he wanted to follow me. Mickey's is here in New Albany. Great books and coffee and sweet stuff. So hello to Mickey. We appreciate that so much. And wanted to say also thank you to those of you who helped us celebrate our COO, he's our director, he cleans the cat litter, co-founder, Jason Applegate, also known as my partner in every possible way. Yesterday was his 45th birthday. So happy birthday to Jason. He's back there. He just wants to move on. I guess at a certain point, you celebrate so many birthdays, maybe you just move on from, I don't know. I think we're lucky to get older.
I don't know.
I don't know either. Terry doesn't know. Terry's not quite sure. And thanks again for joining us for Extol Live. We'll be back with another live stream soon. But in honor of Terry's heart and Becky's heart as well for animals and the New Albany Animal Shelter, we thought this was a fitting way to go out. Have a great weekend.
Here at the New Albany Floyd County Animal Shelter, you can come in and adopt an animal, but it's best to go ahead and fill out an application online. It makes the process so much more speedier, and then you can come in and visit with the animal. We have quality time that we're able to allocate and spend time with you and make the match perfect. And then you can come in, enjoy your time with the pet. The staff has an opportunity to tell you what they feel about the pet, how they experience the pet, and it's a wonderful experience all the way around. It really gives a personal service to adopting an animal. And if you're making a lifelong commitment like this, you need that personal service. You need to get to know the animal, and that's what we're here at the New Albany Floyd County Animal Shelter trying to do.